Team Kill Game.
What's good, duelists? Johnny Christopher coming at you with another episode of Replay Tuesdays. This is the series where I showcase a deck profile built from scratch, and then we watch some replays online with some cool music in the background, whether it be copyright or not copyright. They don't care. It's just building a deck, showing the profile, and you get to see some replays. So let's get right into this deck profile. This is my perfect dragon deck. You might have seen I was playing a version of this deck yesterday. If you watched yesterday's video of Dueling with Team Kill Game, I was playing online and playing it something similar to this. This is the finalized version of what I came up with. This thing is insane and amazing. So without further ado, let's get into the deck profile. We have our one Wing Weaver. She is in here because she is an advanced ritual target to summon our only level 7 ritual monster in the deck. Two Megamis because another advanced ritual art target to summon out your level 6s, such as your Herald, your Ben 10, your Eda 10, your Saphira Queen of Dragons. Double copies of Angel Paladin Arc Parathop. Can't speak correctly today. In TCG, they've been renamed to Sacred Air Knight Parasoft. This card is insane. You can summon it as long as you negate a counter trap, as long as you negate a card, and you have 2 fairies in your graveyard, you can banish the 2 fairies and summon this card from your hand or graveyard, which is pretty badass. Triple Bear for our Fluffle engine. I decided to run the Fluffle engine in this build because it's very good consistency. Deck thins and draws cards. Triple Lash because you gotta have something because you want to be able to stop your opponent's plays and keep your opponent from being able to search and make boards. So Ash is just good. You run 3 Ash. Triple Wings to go with to finish off the monsters for our Toy Vendor engine. Pitch to the graveyard with Toy Vendor, draw 2 cards off its effect. Moving on to our ritual monsters, which is the bread and butter of the deck, which is our most important part of the deck. We have our 2 copies of Savaris, the Ancient and Ascendant. If you manage to summon this card, and your opponent manages to simultaneously summon 2 or more monsters at the same time, you can return this card to the hand and negate the summon, banish all those monsters that were summoned. And then its first effect allows you to send them to the graveyard if your opponent activates a card that targets a card you control, pitch into the graveyard from your hand, negate the activation of that card. Can't destroy the card, but it does negate the activation. He combos well with the next card on our list, which is Saphira, Queen of Dragons. If your opponent's targeting your Saphira with a card effect, you can pitch this to the graveyard to negate the effect or negate the activation. Then if this is still on the board at the end phase, you can use its third effect to return this back to the hand to get more value out of it, maybe summon the next turn. Next on the list, we have a 1-of Herald of Perfection. I was debating on Herald of the Ultimateness or Herald of Perfection. I chose Perfection because Perfection is easier to summon. You can use Eda 10 or Ben 10 as a 1 tribute for Herald of Perfection, so you don't have to waste 2 cards to get it like you would with Herald of the Ultimateness. And being able to pitch fairies from hand to grave to negate cards is pretty badass, my personal opinion. Next, we run 2 Cyber Angel Ben 10s. When this card is tributed to the graveyard, search a light fairy, add it to your hand. Simple, self-explanatory. You're using it as a 1 tribute for Herald or Saphira. And then the 2 copies of Cyber Angel Eda 10. The reason why I'm running 2 Eda 10s is because it is a 1 tribute for Herald or Saphira, but it gives the Herald or Saphira a 1000 boost of attack. So Herald becomes a 28 and Saphira becomes a 35 if you can manage to tribute this card off to get them on the board. And it's just worth running it too. That rounds off all the monsters. Moving on to our spells and traps, we have triple pre-preparation of rites. Searches out any ritual monster and ritual spell. The only targets this card has is the Herald of Perfection, because we have the 1 Herald of Perfection with the 1 Darn of the Herald. And the other target is any of the 3 Saphira Queen of Dragons, because we do have 3 Helmet Lights in the deck. So it makes sense, so I figured to keep it at 3. Then we run for our spicy spell tech. We have Fool's Burial Goods. Use this to dump a Toy Vendor from deck to grave, so you can start your Toy Vendor combo. Or if you have Preparation of Rites in hand, you can pitch a spell card, like a ritual spell, like either the Advanced Ritual Art, Hymn of Light, or Dawn of the Herald, from deck to grave. And then if you have the Preparation of Rites, activate that, search for appropriate ritual spell you need, ritual monster to go with the ritual spell you have, summon your ritual monster. Enough said. After searching as well. And then the Preparation of Rites combos well with the toy event with the Fool's Burial Goods. Like I said, you get to search the ritual monster from deck to hand, and then get to add a ritual spell from your graveyard back to your hand. So if you have the Fool's Goods to go with this, you can get the ritual spell to the graveyard and then get it back. You can get it easily. Makes it easy to turbo out your ritual monsters. Then we run our one of Dawn of the Herald. We go with our Herald of Affection. Banish this to get back your Ben 10. Banish this to get back your Editin to the hand. Simple as that. 2 copies of Advanced Ritual Art. We have the Magamis and we have the Wingweaver as our targets because it makes sense. Triple Hymn of Light, which is the ritual spell for Saphira, Queen of Dragons. You want to summon Saphira a lot in this deck, more so than you are Herald, because you want to see more power than you do Negate, but that's just my personal opinion, my personal preference. But Hymn of Light at 3 is perfect. And then for the last of the cards in the deck, we are not running any traps, but we are running the Triple Toy Vendor, which is what you would use, which is what we use for the Toy Vendor combo. That rounds off the main deck. Next, we go to the extra deck. We are running 1 Dante Pilgrim of the Burning Abyss because I have a spicy tech engine with this, using Dante with Futris, using level 6 ritual monsters to get Futris out. Our one of Constellar Pito minus M7, Herald of Perfection, and a Ben 10 or Editin, or any 2 of your level 6 ritual monsters can make this, and you bounce the card back to the hand, swing for 27. Our one of Futris, using a Herald and any of the others level 6 ritual monsters, gets them on the board. Saphira and any of the other level 6 ritual monsters. Just a combination of the level 6 rituals, any 2, gets Futris, then you go right for Dante. Then I run 1 copy of number 39, Utopia Beyond. The reason why I run this is because it's for like, I was thinking maybe late game, being able to play this onto the field, have all your opponent's monsters have 0 attack. This thing is a 3 grand beat stick, swing directly for 3 grand. If you happen to be able to get like another Saphira on board, that's an additional 2,500 direct damage. Then at the end phase, the rest of the monsters will get their attack power back. But when they lose their strongest monsters and they can't recover, they can't make a recovery, and they only have weaker monsters left on the board, they're going to wind up drawing. And if they don't draw into something they can use, they're going to wind up breaking the rest of their board. Next turn, you just take out the rest of the monsters and swing for game. Then I run 1 copy of number 25, Force Focus. Cards to level 6s. Once per turn during either player's turn, you can attach 1 extra material from this card, and target 1 level 5 or higher effect monster your opponent controls, negate the effect of that opponent's face-up monster until the end of this turn. Pretty much, if they're running like something like, say, True Dracos or something, or some kind of level 5 or higher monster that has an effect that they would summon during your turn, Force Focus can negate it. Not to mention, if you negate it with Force Focus and you have 2 fairies in your graveyard and you have this in the grave or in your hand, you can just combo this with the Force Focus to get this onto the board. So it's a really good card, and 2800 attack is not bad. Then I run the one of Photon Strike Bouncer. Has a similar effect. You can detach a material, and if you do, you can negate the effect of a monster effect. It inflicts 1000 damage. This also combos well with the Sacred Air Knight Parsoff, 2 fairies engraved, detach material, negate a monster effect, burn for 1000, summon the 28 beat stick, and have a 27 and a 28 on the board. Then I run 1 copy of number 24, Dragulus the Vampire Dragon. It requires 2 level 6s, and it's once per turn. During either player's turn, you can attach next one material from this card. Then target 1 face-up monster on the field that was special summoned from the extra deck. Change it to face-down defense position. If this face-up card in the owner's control is sent to the graveyard or banished by your opponent's card effect, you can special summon this card in face-down defense position. This card is flipped face up. Send 1 card on the field to the graveyard. So pretty much this, the reason behind, or the theory behind this is even if I can't get rid of, even if I can't put a monster face down, they summon into link monsters. If they get rid of it off the board by a card effect, I just return it back to the field in defense position. I just loop this card back from graveyard to field, or from banish to field. So either way, I'm getting it back, and they're just going to keep destroying it, and it keeps coming back. So that was like the theory of that, just being able to loop this card and prevent the opponent from killing me off. And then last but not least, we run our 1 copy of number 21, Frozen Lady Justice. Sure, she's only a 2500 attack power monster when you summon her, but she can detach a material. And if you do so, what's the rest of the effects? You can detach one material from this card, destroy all defense position monsters your opponent controls. So if you have this on the board and other monsters in defense position, or they're playing like some kind of like flip deck, like say for instance they're playing Subterrors, everything's face down, you summon this, you destroy all the flip monsters in the grave and send them to the grave. So that's it for the deck profile. Hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile. Let's go ahead and get on to these duels and show you some replays.